So one of the first things we want to do is take out the rotting boards so we can see sort of what the framing is like underneath. I have some pressure treated wood right here, some new wood, and here is some of the repurposed wood that I got from my friend. And really what we want to do is not replace the whole deck, because the whole deck doesn't need replacing and we don't have enough wood for that. So we need to see how far back the dry rot goes. And so we're sort of going to piece this project together by just replacing some of the dry rotted boards. All right, so what you can see now is I have removed a lot of the rotten wood for the two boards that I'm going to replace in this section. What I had to do here is a plunge cut. All right, so now you'll notice right where I cut the wood, I'm gonna have to chisel some of that so I can get a nice clean piece in there. Got the chisel, the hammer, speed square, obviously super important. You'll also notice that there is a gap between each board, and that is for drainage. You want the water to go through instead of just stay on the wood. All right, so now I'm ready to measure long point. Got my tape measure, and I'm going to measure short point. That is if we have an angle, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts and install it. All right, so now I got my measurements, long point, short point. I'm ready to make my cut. I have to adjust the depth gauge. See how that moves, because it's barely deep enough to cut it. So just gonna adjust it right here, then make my cut. All right, so we got our board in place. Slight adjustment, gonna have to splice right here. That looks good. Now I'm going to just go ahead and screw it in. I'm not going to be using nails. Screws are more expensive, but when you're working by yourself and you have a small project, they're preferable. All right, so got the wood in for this section. Now I'm going to see how it goes like this. It's all rotted. Going to continue on with deck repair, board replacement, using a lot of repurposed wood and some new wood. All right, so we spliced it in here, removed the rotten wood. We have a little situation here where this beam is the high point, and the screws we are using isn't getting enough bite to suck the wood down. So we're going to go with the bigger screws with the square drive. These use a star drive. We'll see if that works. All right, so we've got our boards in. Had to use two 2x4s. Had to use a little splice right here. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to go get a little bit of wood to sort of make this look a little bit better. It's looking a little rough right now. Well, we got our last piece in over there. Went to the store, did some comparison shopping. A 2x8 by 8 foot long pressure treated was about $13.50. We wanted to see about redwood, which is this piece right here. The same piece in redwood was $30. Huge difference. So I'm going to install. My dad found this nice piece. I'm going to put it right here, replace that, and then we're going to go on over and build a simple step so we can not fall. All right, well, we got our step in. Very simple, very basic, but functional. This is the tea house. Has all sliders on all sides. And cedar shingle is the siding used. You can see that right there. They use ring shank nails, which is a little bit different than that house. And that is my dad's house, and it has board and bat siding. So there's a lot of different kinds of sidings you can put on houses. When I was 24, we built this house from the ground up, and I was way up there on the top, on the 3rd floor, nailing off the plywood. How do you do that? You get up there with ladders and scaffolding. Also, when we talk about repurposing wood, over the years at different job sites, my dad would collect all the wood that clients wanted to throw away. So he's collected a lot of wood, and that fence was made from all repurposed wood that we did not have to buy, just labor and nails. Here's another little project that we did, all from repurposed wood that was saved from different job sites. We wanted it to blend in sort of with the front, and add a little artistic flair by having the little pieces of wood come up. And then we built the benches from repurposed wood, and of course wanted to sand it so it had a little bit of curve so it wouldn't be sharp when people sat down on their legs. All right. So another little project that I'm going to do is to replace and reinforce this little walkway bridge here. And once again, more dry rot. My goal is to save this attachment piece, pull out, replace, dig 2 4x4 PTs, and then put 2 10-bys right on the top. So that's the goal. So now I took out the rotten boards, loosened this up, unscrewing those. So now I'm going to dig and place my 2 4x4 solid foundation. One is going to be right up against this board to keep it solid, because I did not want to have to disassemble all of that and or replace it. All right, so most of the labor in this job is going to be the digging for foundation. So I want this piece level with that. Then we're going to plumb it up. So I did this side. I used a little tester piece so I wouldn't always have to lift that big long one every time to check. Just a little tip. So I got some of my digging in, ready for the second beam level. That bubble needs to be in those 2 lines for this project. That is pretty close, so I'm going to live with that. All right, so sort of a rule of thumb with projects is it takes a lot longer than you anticipate. I did a couple adjustments. I had to put a little pressure treated under the 4x4s. Now I'm ready to toe nail that and then put on my boards. Well, we got the boards in. It's pretty solid. Took a little bit longer than expected, but the rails pretty solid. Probably need to do a little reinforcement on that, but for today, that is it.